Hello, my Stampin' friends. Thanks for joining me tonight. My name is Candace Anderson, and I am joining you live from Hiram, Utah. Um, I am really excited to share with you the project I have. You may have seen the pictures that I shared. Um, I want to share how I did this background. And originally, I started on the white background, and I had white lettering. Didn't like the white lettering on it. So I switched to black lettering, but then I had the white lettering cut out. So I was like, well, can I try a black background? I will tell you, this took a few times. In fact, I'm gonna grab out my mess up piece and show you the different things that I tried to figure out how to get the color with the black background without using different colored embossing. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So we're going to turn this camera on. Let's see. There we go. And let's see if I can switch these. Maybe. Hang on one second. I'm still learning this program. It's trickier to switch than the other program that I was using. But this one allows me to go to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So we're going to continue using this one and hopefully I will get better at it. I think this is what I need to do, if I remember right. There we go. So hopefully you can see what I'm using. So I am using this Watercolor World background stamp. And I have combined it with, this is a brand new one that will be coming out, the Layered Thoughts stamp. And I'm using this of and you. And I have just put them on a block actually together so I could stamp them at the same time. And then this was actually, I created this for the TGIF challenge, which was to use alphabet. So this is the mini alphabet die that I have used for this. So before I show you the backgrounds, I want to kind of show you quick couple of tips for this alphabet. So this alphabet is all on one thing. And so where did it go? Losing my papers. I had them sitting right here. Now I don't know what I did with them. Isn't that how life goes? You have everything ready to go, and then I really truly don't know what I just did with them. Oh, they fell on the ground. That would be why I couldn't find them. Okay, sorry. So this is the adhesive sheet. This is what I highly recommend when using some of these little alphabets, even the little skinny ones you've seen me use. And what we're going to do, I don't know where the paper went that I pre-cut. That's okay. We're just going to grab out a new one. So they come in these big sheets, but you can cut them down to any size. So I'm just going to cut them to fit. Quarter by 3.5. So I'm just going to cut this, and it has the things. So one thing I find is a little strange is the part that pulls off is actually it takes the sticky part. So I'm just going to apply this to the back here. And then I'm going to apply this one here. So I've done this several different ways. You could do just a whole thing and put it across here. For this particular one, because I have certain letters I want to do, I'm just going to cut these, and these are roughly about an inch. So I just kind of cut it into some 1-inch strips. And then I could cut the letter and just lay it over it. So we're going to set this aside for a little bit. So I've already got this one cut out, and I want to show you a quick, easy way to do these. Now, I showed this before, and as I played with it more, I discovered a little bit easier way. So we're going to use the masking paper. And again, I'm just going to cut a little strip off. Doesn't have to be very big. What we're going to do though is we're going to take this and we're going to take it so the sticky side is up, and I am going to take a post-it note. I'm going to use my glass mat here. I'm just going to put a post-it note on each end here to hold it in place where I want it to be. Maybe if I can grab a hold of it here. And I'm lining it up on one of those lines. So this is how I can help me get it nice and straight. And then I'm going to actually flip these upside down, and I'm going to take the backing off at the same time. So before I did them right side up, I'm going to line them up on this bottom here. So when I did it before, I did them right side up, but I discovered that even though this masking, um, it's sticky, but it's kind of like a post-it note type sticky, and it doesn't always hold it really, really great, which is good because I don't want it to stick to it really a whole lot. But I also found when I go to flip it over and I try to take the backing off, I kind of lost some of the pieces. So I discovered if I do it upside down, then I can take the backing off and then it's all ready to go onto my project. So this is my little trick to line them up. Okay. Nails don't want to grab a hold of that edge. Usually you can get right a hold of it. Try a different edge. Or we can try this and see if we can get it to separate. Usually it comes up pretty easy. There we go. Usually the just the cutting leaves enough of an indent that you can get it off pretty easy. Thin. Okay, maybe. How's the weather out there where you are? Turn the chat on here so I can see if you guys are talking to me. If you're joining me on the replay, welcome. Hopefully you're learning some fun things. I've been talking a lot about our scrapbooking um, program called Scrapped. It was my turn last week, and those are on YouTube. I actually did make I don't know what a playlist, and so my friends are on that playlist as well. So you can find all of them in one place if you want to go and catch all of our episodes. Next month starts a new month. So be watching for those new episodes this coming up in May. And again, I am the fourth uh, one to go on that. So hopefully you've enjoyed that and learned some things. I know I have been learning lots of things. So it's been kind of fun. So now this is all ready to go. I can just go and put it right onto my project. So quick and easy. We're going to move that out of the way. And we're going to start with this black background. Actually, the white is easier to clean. So we're going to start with the white one instead. So I have my paper cut here. And for this particular project, I did it 3.5 by 5.25. And there's a couple ways that you can do this. I actually, the first time I did this, I just put my image right down onto my glass mat. We're going to take it out of here and kind of do that just for so you can see. So I just attached it to the glass mat and then I put this over the top of it. And I actually used my roller to do it. But because of the way I had to do the black one, I did pull out my, I don't even know what this is called. We don't sell it anymore, but I know that there are other places that still sell something similar. But it allows you to stamp multiple times in the same place. So we're actually going to use that for this particular time just because it will make it a little bit easier. So I'm just gonna line this up right here. And I'm gonna put my magnet, make sure it's not where that's gonna fall. Okay, so there are a couple ways you can do this. Of course, you could use the ink pad and you can go right into the ink pad. Sorry, I'm gonna turn this camera just a little bit, maybe. It's crooked and it's bugging me. So didn't work very well, but we'll try. You can go, so I am using the little sponge daubers, and you can go directly in it like this, but I actually decided, because I'm using my glass mat, that the easier way to do it, and it got a lot more ink on it for me, is I just use my re-inkers and I'm putting them right onto the glass mat here. So I have pumpkin pie. I believe these are all Brights colors, if I remember right. Yes, pumpkin pie. Um, this one is Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green. Um, what else do we got here? Azure Afternoon and Melon Mambo. And you'll notice the color combo. The order that I did them in, I did it in a very specific order because as it goes across, I'm going to grab the card so you can see here what I'm talking about. As it goes across, these colors are going to kind of blend in the middle as it's going across. And so I wanted to make sure that whatever colors are going over the top of each other, that it's blending nicely. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your different colors. I'm still using my sponge daubers on here. And I'm actually going to start with my middle color first. And I'm going to kind of just daub right along here like so. I should have started with my yellow first because it's my lightest color and I don't want to go into the other, but that's okay. We're going to bring that other color over here. So I'm just going kind of my yellow. And we're going to grab my pumpkin pie. And I'm going to go over that orange a little bit. I mean that yellow a little bit. So it's going to blend that. And then we're going to grab this one. We're going to grab, I think, Melon Mambo, I believe is this color. So this is a pretty easy way to add color, especially on these big background stamps. You can add a lot of fun color. I've seen this done several different times. And we're going to blend those together a little bit there. Always best to be blending your darker color into your lighter color if you're going to be blending them. That way you're not getting the other color ink into a lighter ink into the darker ink. And then we're going to, this works the way it's supposed to. We're just going to pull this over here. And voila, you can see that this one is a lot darker than this one is. So you can see that contrast. This first one that I did it using the ink pads. In fact, I actually started with the markers. I put a little bit of marker and then I did the ink pad. So I wanted to be able to show you kind of the difference depending on what kind of look that you're going for. But part of the reason I'm doing it this way, we might have to add, we'll see if we need to add a little bit more. We are going to grab, where is it? We're going to grab this and we're going to clean this off as much as we can. And then I'm going to grab one of these. I'm going to get as much ink as I possibly can off of this because I'm going to be using my white and I really don't want to get a bunch of ink colors in it if at all possible. So this time, so I'm going to show you, this was the block that I had done. So I kind of tried a couple different ways. This one I used white behind it and then black, which is what I'm going to show you how to do. But then I tried embossing it. You can see, you can get the color just a little bit, but not a lot. This one I went with, and this is embossed with clear. This one, I just went directly with the color, then I did it onto the clear. So I did an Versamark, then I did the color, and then I did clear. You can see that the color really didn't pop out. I did try doing it once with white embossing powder, didn't work at all. So I discovered that I needed to figure out a different way to make it work. So I am grabbing my older craft. I actually have two. I have the newer style and I still have an older one. Um, this one, I definitely wanted to use the older one just because it can sometimes get this. You can see that this is a lot more inky. And I am just going to press this right on to my stamp here and get it nice and inky. I want to get a lot, as much white on there as I possibly can. So nice and covered. And we're going to grab our black out. We're going to lay that where we want it. Line it up on that edge there. Use the magnet to hold it in place. I wish they would have kept this. I'm not quite sure why they got rid of it, but I know there was some kind of reason. So then we're going to go down with it. Just make sure you're not pressing too terribly hard because you don't want to get the edge of the stamp. It still looks okay if you do, because I've done it. But okay, we didn't get that middle very good. So I'm going to press that down. That's the one nice about the Stamparatus. I think that's what this is called. Is it allows you to go right back down into the exact same place that you were at. So you can get a little bit more if you need to. Okay, so we're going to grab, well, we can use this one. And we're going to clean this white off here really quickly. All right. And the reason I'm using the two different ones is you'll notice that that is really, really wet and using my, but this doesn't always, when you have a really heavy ink, doesn't get it off as good sometimes. It's great for the little stamps, not as much for the big stamps. So I've learned to kind of just take a wet wipe and wipe off some of the heavier ink first. And then I can use my chamois to get into the cracks. And my chamois is a little bit more dry. And so it will be dried by the time I go to ink it all up. So now that we've gotten the white, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other. This is where I really discovered having the ink directly from the re-inkers really makes a difference because we want to get that color as bold as possible. And that's because we are going to actually be stamping right over this white. Blend. If you go a little bit lighter as you're blending, not tapping it quite as hard, then it kind of makes it so it's not as stark of an edge as you're blending. I guess we want to do this pink first. All right. And then we're going to add in the blue. And I love how it blends into the green and into the pink and gives kind of a little bit of a purpley color. Then when we pull it back over here and we stamp it down, make sure we get it nice and good and even, then we get that color that's going to pop up on top of that white. I did try this and do it and then did the clear embossing powder on it. Didn't work. You saw this was the result that I got with the clear embossing powder. So definitely learned to just keep this as is and let it dry. So because this is a craft ink, it does take a little bit longer to dry, meaning it's more like a paint type ink. So we're going to move this out of the way and I can show you the rest of putting. We're not going to put this one together quite yet. So one thing I did try, tried stamping just the craft ink over the top of this, and it just didn't look very good. So for the white, I did end up doing stamping the uh, on white and cutting it out to finish it off. And I realized that um, I cut out the black the white letters, not the black letters. So we won't be able to finish either one of these cards. Uh, I'll finish them, but so the background, when I was doing this part, I'm just going to show you. You don't really have to see me put it together. But on the background here, I looked at different layers and stuff. So the part of the reason that this is just kind of the height of the stamp is to show this background in the back here. And what I ended up doing is cutting some 1-inch strips of the same colors that I stamped with. And then I just laid them and they're lined up with the color that I inked it with. And I just kind of laid them in a random pattern. So you could go straight with them, would leave a tiny little bit of black, or you can push them together, whatever. I liked the randomness of it and just kind of put them on it and then put my thing over the top. But you can easily just take this and put it right on there and stick it to it. So simple, easy. I've finished it off by taking the 2 different colors of baker's twine and tied them together. Super simple. This is a black background, so or a black base, so I did do a white on the inside of that. But how fun. I love how this turned out. I still can't decide which one I like better. I love the boldness of this one, but at the same time, I just kind of like the subtle background color of that one. So let me know what you think. I'm going to switch the camera back around here for a second. Uh, let's see. There we go. Just a couple other quick reminders. We did start our new rewards system. So I believe it's $25 and you start earning rewards, and then you'll have those available to use on your next order. You can order anytime from me. It's Candace Anderson, Candice, Anderson at stampin'up.net. And remember to join me on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, lots of places. They've been sharing lots of fun products. Another fun announcement, if you were with me in December, I that's kind of when I started doing all this online stuff, but um, I started doing a challenge with my friend Kevin, and he did a card a day challenge. And so it originally started a year ago, a card a day in May, and we're doing a card a day in May again this year, and lots of fun challenges. I will post the list of what we're doing as well as the link. If you want to jump in and follow along, you can post every day. You can or follow along, post, share in there, or you're welcome to do it just whenever you can. I will be presenting one of the days for him. He did ask me to present again, so that was really fun. I'm excited about that, and not sure what I'm going to be sharing yet, but be watching for that because I'll have lots of new fun ideas. I have a few stamp sets left of the last chance. This is one of the ones from the last chance, but I have a few left that I'm still working on sharing, but that last chance is still there and available until products are gone. So be sure to check them out. And the new catalog, I think, starts May. What is it? I don't even have it here. Not sure where I put my new catalog. May 3rd is what I want to say. So it's coming up here really soon. If you're looking for things that are in the mini catalog, some of them are carrying over, some of them are on that last chance. So be sure to check those out. Thank you, Rashay. I'm glad that you liked them. Thanks again for joining me, and I will see you. One more thing, I just remembered. Next week is the first weekend, first Monday, sorry, in May, which means it's a Make It With Me Monday. So I will be sharing what you need to grab so you can follow along and make your own project from what I share. So you can make it along with me, or catch the replay and make it again later. So thanks again for joining me, and have a fantastic night. Bye bye.